Welcome to Dashcam Diary of a Disabled with me, Chronically Happy. Right now, today's errands are to go pay my trailer storage unit spot that I'm renting to park my trailer. Then I'm headed to Dollar Tree to get a new toilet brush because I just cleaned my flipping entire bathroom except for the tub. I couldn't get that done. It's just one of those things that is like the hardest thing for me to do because it involves a lot of bending over and a lot of repetitive motions, and it's just really difficult for me to do. But first, I am going to go to the furthest location away from my house, and that is to my credit union and the pharmacy because I need to pick up my budesonide for my sinus rinse. I've been borrowing my dad's. Not really borrowing, using it. There's no way I can give it back except for give him some of my tubes that I'm about to get from the pharmacy. I just needed to do my sinus rinse lately. I was in the worst freaking flare ever yesterday. I thought about doing a video, but I was just too fatigued to even do that. I just couldn't. I couldn't do anything. Like, I slept like crap the night before. And I kept waking up. I was tossing and turning. Like, we got such a big movement at my chiropractor appointment that it caused my body to go into a flare. There's no any ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, we majorly shifted something and it really pissed my body off. It's like, what the F? And my face is still all swollen with edema because of it. And it didn't help that I was eating some sugar, so and I was binge eating. I couldn't stop eating because I was just so hungry because of the inflammation. Like, sugar feeds inflammation and it craves things to be more inflamed, and so I have poor control when it comes to that. I try my best to avoid extra processed food and stuff, but I'm not hungry. But then yet when I'm starving, I'm like, it's the only thing that I want. It's a vicious cycle, and I'm not trying to beat myself up too much for it because it is what it is. There's no taking it back. There's no going back from it, except for there's keep moving forward and eating and making better, healthier choices for putting things in my mouth. Healthier choices for my mouth. I just, with my ADHD and my super focus on certain things, I couldn't do a darn thing. I did nothing but sleep all day yesterday, off and on. I kept waking up here and there, but I got crap for sleep the night before, so I slept almost all day yesterday, and then last night I finally had a little bit of energy to do stuff, so I started making another cuff, but I didn't get very far. Well, I can't show you right now. I'm trying to park. And there's cars all over the place. I'm actually trying to be a good driver while I video. Nor do I highly recommend people do what I do. I don't recommend it. I'm very good at multitasking though, so, but you guys have seen me. I've passed my exits before because I got too involved in talking, but at least I'm paying attention to the road. I'm just not paying attention to where I'm going because I'm in my story, because I'm so into it, and that's okay. As long as I don't do any kind of like rash, like, oh crap, turn real fast, I learned a long time ago, don't do that. It's okay if you miss your exit, miss your turn, whatever it is. It's not the end of the world. You can just find a place and turn around and go back. Or sometimes GPS will reroute you. Sometimes it has no other route besides you need to turn the F around, lady. So here's my box cuff again. It looks like crap. it's not keeping shape because of, I don't know if it's elastic or, I'm not quite sure, but there's always room for improvement, and it's okay, For a first attempt, this is pretty darn good. But I have a better understanding and a better way of this kind of cuff turning out. So I started doing a purple one, but I wanted to alternate colors on the outside part of the cuff. So all I need to do is add the latter part now. And so I'm really excited to do that today. But it's going to be my reward for getting my canning done. I am going to finish my last batch of apple pear sauce today. My mom's going to help me with the apple pie filling to can. But I am ready to do it. I am ready to knock this crap out. I wanted to yesterday so bad. Yesterday was the day I was supposed to do it, and I didn't. Who knows what would have happened if I had, because we had a huge mishap. We had the biggest mishap. At least I'm parked for this story, I feel a lot better being parked and telling these stories than driving and telling the stories. But I'm going to just run my AC out and gas out in the process. What else? But throughout all that yesterday, so I was able to barely be alive for my friend. Like, it was very important for me to be at her doctor appointment with her via Zoom, and it's the second time I've been with her for it, and I'm so glad I can be there for her, because she's not able to do in-person appointments because of her skin condition. And I really, really care for this lady. I forget how old she is. I think she's like 31 or something. I don't know. I have ADHD. I have a hard time remembering dates, especially numbers. I'm the worst at remembering birthdays. I'm putting extra effort into trying to remember birthdays, but if it weren't for Facebook telling me, I would totally freaking lose it. I wouldn't tell anybody happy birthday at all. I used to be very on top of it, but as my following grew, like, it just got too overwhelming, to say happy birthday to every single person on my friends list. So I've tried, though, I've tried to be there, the most present in people's lives as I can be, from a distance, because almost all my friends are all over the United States and in the world, and other places in the world. Even they're still serving in the Navy, and go them, man. Like, I'm proud of them, but I can also see a change in them, and I've noticed, I there's something about veterans, and at the core of me and my ADHD and my quirkiness and how I am, I didn't mean to tell this story, but this is just what it is. It's okay, good girl. But I've noticed a change in my guy sailor friends. Some of them, because they spent more time in the military. Vice some of my other veteran friends and I. There's just a certain something that they really lose a part of who they really are, because everything that they are is the military. And then when you get out of the military, even with my 9 years in, it was quite a change transitioning back to a civilian. It took a long time to almost rewire my brain from what they, how they pretty much give every sailor or every military member PTSD. It is a type of, you have that camaraderie, you have that family, and you have that togetherness, and and then once you get out, you don't have any of that. You figure out who your real friends are, and then you find out you really don't got anybody in your life at all, and it gets really depressing for a while. And having one of my friends that is currently in, and they just did Chief Warrant Officer, it's congratulations, but he's one of them that I've seen this change in, and it's like, I don't think he knows who he is. I know who he wants to be, and he, you know, as the time gets on, and you know, he's going to have to retire at some point. I don't think he's going to transition well back to civilian life. You know, well, only time will tell, but I think he's just one of those people that's going to have some issues, some problems. I got to know him really well. I got to know his family, you know. Just thinking about it, you know, I just not too long ago found out that, you know, that his mom passed, and she was a really nice lady. I didn't know I was going to have to share my feelings today. Oh, this was unexpected. Because I haven't really got to grieve her in the right way. But I got close with him, you know. You know. I'm happy he has his wife and he has his child, and I hope that, and I know that they were high school sweethearts, and I know that she loves him to death, and I hope that she can be there for him and sticks with him through the transition. I hope he makes it. I know he's going to struggle. I know the type of person he is, and you know, with recently talking to him, you know, he was kind of at a down point in his life. I don't know why. He didn't really get to the bottom of telling me why, but there's some things that I think he needs to talk about, and I don't know if he's able to talk to anybody about it or not. I hope he is. But I will be right there for him as a friend when he is out and tries to transition back to civilian life, because I think he's going to struggle. But, you know, we'll see what happens with his wife. I hope that she can be there for him and I don't have to step in as much. But without having served yourself, it's very difficult to understand how this transition is huge for every veteran, and where they end up afterwards, after they get out, no matter the type of discharge that they get out. Real talk. Gosh, this video started off so happy. I'm feeling my feelings. No, I'm still deeply happy. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy. I forgot where I was even going to go with that conversation before I interrupted myself with my feelings. I guess I've recognized lately that I always get seasonal, they call it SAD. It's basically seasonal depression, and it usually starts during the fall for me. And I don't know, it makes me feel more grateful, I guess, and you know, being thankful around Thanksgiving being next month and all. But there's been a lot of times during these months that big events have happened in my life, with certain people passing, and my mom's mom passing, and me having to, you know, I was so stressed about trying to get leave and be able to come home and say goodbye, and I did. I got to say goodbye to her. So I'm very thankful that I had that opportunity. But I didn't know how to process those feelings. I asked my mom at the time. I was like, why can't I cry like everybody else is right now? She said, I don't know. People grieve in different ways. And I was like, I don't know, I just felt numb at that point in time. Like I couldn't have feelings. And that's what I was ingrained in my 20s, is not to have feelings or have a voice or an opinion, because that's where I was at in my 20s in the military. I joined at the age of 20. And I turned 21 9 days after boot camp, and I was restricted to base. I was in training. I was doing 8 weeks of math, and I was restricted to the base in Great Lakes, right across the street from where I had boot camp. So I really didn't have a 21st birthday. I went out and I got a little bottle of liquor, got drunk, passed out in a motel room, and made it back to base, and that was about it. I had many a nights though where I was in that barracks room puking my brains out after drinking on base after that. Oh, I learned how to drink while I was in training and learning up to trigonometry. My 22nd birthday, I was at my command, and I had the best 22nd birthday to make up for the 21st. And I had a whole month where I got to travel with my mom and my aunt and uncle. My mom and dad and aunt and uncle, we met up with them, and we did some sightseeing around around Colorado and Hoover Dam, and went to Vegas. So I got to go to Vegas, and Reno, and Carson City. Like, I got to go to all kinds of places for my 22nd birthday. So, you know, I really did do it up in a good way that was memorable. Other than my 21st birthday, where, you know, I really just passed out and then went back to base. That was my 21st birthday. It wasn't exciting. And I was with some two dudes, and yeah, they went and did that thing and left me in the room, and yeah, then they woke me up and took me back to base. Because we had to go out with Liberty buddies. We couldn't go out by ourselves. We had to have buddies and sign out and then sign back in. Like, it was really restricted. So I couldn't just go out by myself and get into trouble. Which is really a good thing. You know, I'm glad I had those guys to help take me back to base and stuff on time. So otherwise I wouldn't have been on time. Man, we pushed Liberty as much as we could too. So that was my 21st birthday. And 22nd. So family's always been big in my life, and I love my family so much, and I still hang out with some of my aunts and uncles, and I have gone out of my way to see some of my cousins and do things with my cousins, but visits are getting fewer and fewer as we age and we have our separate lives. I'm always busy with doctor appointments and such, or being in a flare, and I can't really feel like doing anything, so anyway, I'll get back. I'll have to rewatch my video, and then I'll have to do a part 2 and give you guys an update of what story I was going to tell that I interrupted myself and sidetracked myself completely off topic. But I guess I just need to feel my feelings. I haven't talked about that stuff in a long time, or I don't know if to anybody, honestly. So, because I had some grieving to do. And, you know, and that's okay. This is the time to do it, and to remember those, and remember those that are no longer with us, and they're in heaven, or wherever they may be. Energy never dies. It always just transfers and moves on. So my energy will forever be here on this planet, in what form or shape, who knows. That's just what I believe. That's just what I believe. I believe energy, in a more science kind of way, it stays moving. It never dies. So that's my thought of the day. I'm going to go do my errands, and I hope you all have a fantastic hump day. Happy hump day. It's Wednesday. Peace out.